Um, okay. Cool. Welcome back to the stream, Jaren, and everyone else. I don't think there's anyone else yet. Um, all right. So in the last stream, we were working on an immediate mode GUI library for Rust, and we got kind of far. I can go ahead and go here, and if I run it, we set up a basic box model type thing where we can have these vertical stacks with children in them, and we can add padding, and we kind of have this hierarchy where we have a top level, and then that renders a child and so on and so forth. So today we're just going to be building on that. I was hoping we would get something like closely resembling a UI. Maybe we'll get some text on the screen, maybe we'll get some buttons, maybe something else, I don't know. But hopefully text at least. So I'm currently training an AI voice model to your voice, so that's fantastic. That's great. That's really cool. So I thought before we get started, I thought we'd make some coffee. So I have a kettle here. It's really shitty, like cheap kettle. That I don't know where I got it. Like I think my parents gave it to me or something. But we have some boiling water, and we have a Vietnamese coffee brewer right here, and this is actually filled with 14 grams of coffee, ground coffee that I just ground. I think it's from Twin Coffee Co. I forget what the brew is called, but I think it's the one that's a mix between Arabica and Robusta beans. So you get kind of like the darkness of Robusta and the like fruity notes of Arabica. So that's what we're going to be brewing today. And it looks like our water is done. So I have a little setup here. Wait, hold on. Check this shit out. Coffee Cam. We got Coffee Cam live. Isn't that incredible? Yeah. So I'm patenting that. And we're just gonna start brewing. We're gonna start our bloom with, I'm just approximating, but I think around 40 grams of water. So 40 grams, 40 milliliters. And you can't see that. But we'll just give that about a minute to bloom, and then we'll fill it up and let it brew, and you can watch that brewing on the coffee cam. Isn't that it's here? Isn't that incredible? Isn't it crazy how far technology has gone? Welcome, Dakota. We're brewing coffee. So we're blooming the coffee right now. So there shouldn't be any drip coming out, and that's condensed milk, by the way. In the bottom, we're making a Vietnamese style coffee. Oh, and I should put the lid on so that the heat doesn't escape. And it's 7:26, so it's a perfect time for coffee. And yeah, so we can get started actually. So let's break open the code. So we have our stacks. I remember in the previous stream, we were kind of working on the parameter syntax. So we have this sort of API here. I swear to God, that's condensed milk. And we have parameters, and it's actually time to start brewing. So I'm actually gonna take this off, and I'm gonna start filling up the brewer. Basically just fill it to the top. And yeah, we should see some coffee starting to brew. Hi T, welcome to the stream. We're brewing coffee. Does it look good? We're brewing Vietnamese coffee. You should see some coffee dripping down. Oh shit, it's kind of making a mess right now. It's kind of getting everywhere, but oh, that's hot. I don't know why it was kind of stopped up, but there we go. The coffee is coming. I don't know why it was kind of like overflowing over the edge of the brewer instead of going into the cup. I don't know if it was like stopped up or what, but I think we're good. Looks like a good that looks like a good brewing speed. And yeah, there should be about the drip speed should be about like this. I'm not an expert, but I think that makes it taste pretty good. But yeah, so anyways, so we have these parameters, and basically for any parameter of a component, so you can see we're creating a window here, and then we're setting the root component of the window to this vstack, and we can change the size and padding. So actually, if I go ahead and run the example again, it might help to demonstrate. So we have a window with a background of this like disgusting like piss yellow color. And then we have a vstack, which is of size 600 by 400, which is actually, that's what this is here. And we actually set a padding of 64 pixels on the top and bottom and 16 on the left and right. And so you can see this like disgusting shade of red is our parent vstack. And we have a child, which is a vstack, which has this green color as the background. So that's as far as we got last time. And actually, if you look here on background, we can see the parameters actually a closure here. So we can actually take in our store, and we can use values from the store as part of our parameters. And so the idea of this is to have something sort of like React, where you can have like dynamic parameters that will like hopefully just re-render for you, and you won't have to do that manually. Yeah, I think the goal of this stream is to get it to say hello world, but text rendering is kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, I think you're kind of thinking a bit too far ahead, like, yeah. Yeah. But maybe getting like on click events might be the best thing to do first, because I feel like we're close enough with the dynamic parameters here where we can where we can like get something cool. So I kind of want to make it so that if you click on this green vstack here, it'll like change the color. So how are we gonna do click handling? So I'm gonna go ahead and close this, and I think let's sort of decide on how the API should look. So I think maybe we'll say like on click, right? And then if then thing, I mean, there will be some if then. And so I think what we'll do is we'll get a mutable reference to the store on click, and we might change this in the future. And on click, when we click that box, we'll say store.count plus equals 1. And of course, no method on click is found for struct vstack. And I don't think on click will take a closure because you already get access to the store. So yeah, so let's go into stack and say on click will be an option of box of din fn mute store to no, this isn't Rust the game. This is Rust the programming language. It's completely different. Okay. No, it's not the same thing. Bruh. And then we'll add like a setter here. And we'll make that an implement function like that, and we'll return self. Okay, so self.onClick equals some box new on click, right? And we'll return self. Okay. Tempted to take value of method on click on type. Oh shit, we can't, we have to do on click handler or something like that. Because the name is already taken here. So, and I'll actually just call this handler. Okay. Right. Missing that. Actually, I just realized I think it's done brewing and I don't have a spoon. So I'm gonna wait. Do I have the spoon with me? No, I'm gonna grab a spoon. One sec. We got our spoon. Okay. Cool. How is this looking? So I'm gonna take the brewer off, and I don't have anywhere to put the brewer either. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm just gonna. Okay. Take this off. Fuck. Okay. Wait. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna mix our coffee. How many months on E? None yet. Okay, doing the like beauty makeup influencer shit. Look at that. We got ice. I tried to like crush up the ice, but I kind of couldn't. So it's not crushed up, but whatever. And there we go. We have made Vietnamese iced coffee. Isn't that crazy? Thanks for tuning in to cooking with me. It tastes amazing. Okay, we're now gonna be retiring coffee cam. Okay, cool. So we have, okay, what's the problem now? May not live long enough. So what we need to do is, I'm actually gonna set this to a generic parameter like this. I'm gonna do where and it's gonna be have a static lifetime because we wanna like own the closure or like move it in. So yeah. Cool. All right, and now we have a interface for components to be able to render themselves, but we don't have an interface for them to receive like click events. And so how do we do that? So I think the best way to start working on this would be to go into the event loop of app, which is we have this under this run function, which is kind of giant, and we'll want to break this out eventually. But we have this loop, and we have our event handlers here. And so what we can do, so I think we can say event mouse button down. We get all this shit, but I think we only care about mouse button X and Y. And we just discard everything else like that. Yeah, this is a Mac. I'm using window manager. I just got it actually. I'm using a window manager called GUI, which gives me like tiling, which is pretty cool. And I have a custom bar thing here called Sketchy Bar. So yeah, I like it so far. I like tiling window managers because I feel like since you can basically see every window that's open, like you can't really like put them over the top of each other. Like I feel like I get into a habit of like opening just like a shitload of browser windows and I never close them. And I feel like this helps me like stay organized a little bit. It's very #pussy ass. So yeah. So what's the type of mouse button here? So I'm guessing it's like an enum or something. Mouse buttons. We're gonna use this. Yeah, so we have left, right. Do we have middle? We do have middle. It's gonna be recorded. I'm gonna put up the VOD on Twitch and YouTube, so you can clip that. I don't know if you can clip. Can you go backwards in a clip? I think you can, right? But we're gonna make our own mouse button enum because we're eventually gonna make it so you can use not just SDL but like Raylib or whatever you want. So we can't be relying on the stuff that SDL exposes. So I'm gonna touch events.rs, I think, and we will go into event.rs. And actually, first let's go to lib. Yeah, mod event. Y'all, digital footprint. This stream is being recorded along with the chat. So yeah, keep it in mind. Digital footprint. So let's do pub enum mouse button and left, right, left, middle, right. We'll add all the debug, derived, debug, clone, partial, eq. I don't think we need partial ord. And we'll go ahead and implement from STL2 event mouse button, I think, for mouse button. And it'll be function from, and it'll just be match value STL2 mouse button. What is X1 and X2? Why is there an unknown? I feel like that's really... Can we open this? There's no documentation. What does the shield mode button do? I don't have every key code memorized. I'm not that insane. But I'm gonna go into the SDL docs, I think, and oops. We'll see like what these are. Okay, so we don't have any information. What is an X1 mouse button? Okay. Sorry for the light mode flashbang. Mouse wheel down and mouse wheel up. I don't really care about those, to be honest. But I don't really... Yeah, we'll add an unknown. We'll return unknown if it's one of those, which is not the best API design, but we can change that in the future. I just don't want the application to panic if we get one of those, or I don't really want to put in a try from implementation either. Although we could do try from. Let's do try from actually. And we'll just make it so that if there's an error, it just doesn't like it doesn't like it just won't register as a click event. So yeah, so match. We need to type error. Why type error equals standard IO error. We'll map value left mouse button left right button right, and you have to put in an OK here also. Okay, and oops, middle, and underscore is going to be error standard IO error new standard IO error find unsupported, sure, unknown unknown slash ignored. There we go. Oh, the shield is for raiders. I don't know anything about how Twitch works, to be honest. No, you really, please don't do that, Jaren. Seriously, don't do that. But me saying TriMet announcements, that's okay. It depends on the school or the department. That is true. That is very true. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's very true. Okay, so we're gonna say let mouse button equals then okay, mouse button right from mouse button, and actually we're gonna do if let okay mouse button equals this mouse button else continue, I think. Yeah, and so that'll just like make it so that if we have a supported mouse button type, it'll just set this. Otherwise, it'll just continue. So that's cool. Okay. I'm curious what the X and Y are like. Like, are they relative to the app? So let's do, and actually I'll go ahead and do button XY, mouse button. Can I do this? Yeah, I'm just gonna do it like this. Mouse button XY, and my, why is this? Okay, and my language server died, so let me restart this, sorry. Okay, and let's run it. Okay, so we have a click event. So if I click at the very top left, okay, it's gonna be near 0, 0. So it's relative to the window size. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so how do we want to handle clicks? Okay. Let's go into event and let's create pub, pub struct click event. So derive debug clone. I mean, we can implement partial unique, wouldn't hurt. So we'll say button or mouse button. Real. Mouse button, X. Let's do pods. Do we have a position layout? We could have like a position. Yeah, let's do bounds. Let's make a position struct. Let's do pub X. What is this gonna be? usize, pub Y, usize. And that's just like a point, and then we can implement from usize for position, and do like that, and we can do self xy. Real. Okay, so we have a position struct. We can do position. Isn't that crazy? And now we can create a constructor. Actually, let's not. Let's just make it so that yeah, let's do it like that. Event, click event, mouse button, pause. Okay, I'm gonna do like this. I think Rust gets mad when you use shorthand for one field and not for the other. And you can do xy dot into. Oh, of course, it's an I32, so we have to do usize, y is usize. There we go. And now if we print click event, and we debug print, why is my language server dead again? There we go. We have a proper like click event thing, right? So, oh shit, I just closed the window by accident. I closed the wrong window. Fuck's sake. Okay. We're back. We're so back. Okay. There we go. It like, what do you mean? It's a lot of code for what? Like specifically? We're not just like writing the shortest code. We're trying to write up like a whole API. So that like adds steps to it. Like obviously like making the click event here wasn't really necessary. And like making the mouse button enum wasn't really necessary, but it makes for like a nicer API experience. So it's like, might as well, right? That's the Rust way. And like we didn't have to implement like the from implementation. We could have just done like position x as usize, y as usize. like that create layout position, and that would have worked fine. But I feel like, oh, okay. I feel like that's a bit nicer. That's so real. Why are you making a troll face out of me? That's rude. I feel like Face App is pretty like judgmental. I feel like Face App just sees long hair and thinks, oh, female. I don't actually know how it works. Didn't they get in trouble for like saving pictures of people's faces or something like a while ago? Like it's like a big like data collector, but it's like funny. So that's all that matters, is like it's funny. Like I use it. It's funny. Like I don't fucking care, because like this is going to YouTube anyway. So like you can use pictures. I don't really care, but like, you know. Okay, well, it's telling us to use the shorthand here also, so we're gonna do that. Cool. So we have a click event, right? So, so we need. Ooh, do we know which window the click event occurs in? Video subsystem dot window. Wait, let me take a look at this again. Oh, we do have a window ID, so we're gonna have to do that. Okay, so we need window ID also. I'm curious what that is. Is that just like the array index of the window? Because that would make it very easy. If it's like fully like a random ID, that makes it kind of harder. Window ID. Window ID. I've like never worked with SDL to be clear. Like that's why I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Okay, so it's 1. Is it always 1? I feel like this is cause for a Google SDL window ID. How are window IDs assigned? Actually, if I go, why is my LSP dying again? I'm gonna have to take a look at that. And also I'm gonna delete the swap file here. There we go. So can we say let window equals window windows dot find, or what is it, dot first? And we have it set up as like window underscore window dot what? What's the type of window? Why are we not? Why does window not have a type? Okay, really? What the fuck? Okay, wait. This window. Oh, I'm using the wrong function. It's not first. It's filter. Oh, we have to do that iter, right? Okay, there's fine. Sorry, I'm really tired. Window dot ID equals window ID, right? No field ID. Oh, this is our window type. Sorry, canvas. And we lost the LSP again. Okay, that's really annoying. I don't know why it's doing that. Canvas dot window dot ID. Look at that. There we go. Jaren is sending gifts. I'm going to look in the chat. It's so over for me. Quotes. Oh, just you. Okay. Okay. This would be a good candidate for a hash map. I fear. And oh, this is gonna be an option. This. And this will be a good candidate for a refactor later. Cool, so we can construct the event, then we can find the window, and then we can say window.onClick. Self.store, and we're gonna give it a mutable reference. And we're gonna give it the click event. And I think we can give it a reference. Cool. Okay, now let's add an on-click event to the window. Canvas, no, not canvas. Click event, event, click event, and store is gonna be mute store. Okay, one sec. Wait, the coffee cam isn't still going, is it, right? Because like okay, cool, I exited out of it. I'm checking general. That's horrifying. I'm gonna show these, wait. So this is me as Germa, apparently. And this is just me as troll face, apparently. So that's crazy. Is this really the state of AI? Like some PhD like researched like the technology behind this, right? And like someone's paying for the servers that run code to do this, right? So it's like, I don't know. Maybe the Industrial Revolution was a mistake. I don't know. Okay, why can't we borrow this store mutably? Oh, this isn't FaceApp? Oh, okay. Well, that's a little more reassuring. Wait, so why can't I borrow this? Okay, self is not declared as mutable. It should be. There we go. Why don't you know how to do FaceApp? You literally just open it. Okay. So true, bestie. Okay, so we have a click event and we have a store. So I think what we're gonna want to do is so we can send the onClick event, propagate it down to the to the root component. And then the root component can have the responsibility of checking if it was clicked, maybe. I think what might be better is to create sort of a wrapper for, yeah, there's like a way to make them work, but you need to like do something with iTerm or something. I don't know how to do it, but I can just go here. Now I see them. So, yeah. So the issue here is the components render and then they have their computed bounds that they're expected to return. So actually, if I go to the source for the component trait, traits are expected to return a render option here, or a result from render, and it's supposed to be the bounds, which is the total bounds of the object. Like that's supposed to be basically the rectangle of the object. And so the idea is when we click, we can check if the X and Y of the mouse click event is within the bounds of the component. And if it is, we can say the component was clicked, basically. It's a little more complicated once you have like multiple things stacked and whatnot, but that's the base idea. But since we're sort of doing the rendering and the event handling in like two separate procedures, we don't have the bounds until we render, and we render after handling the events. So ideally, we would cache the bounds of the component after it renders, and use that. But it would be kind of a pain to implement this in every component. So what I want to do is I want to how do I want to do this? I can say, so how are we, sorry. We don't know like stack, right? We have din component, right? So we probably want like a different trait. Something like well, it would be component, but then what do we call like the raw component? So basically we want something like pubstruct wrap component, which is generic over store, as is basically everything. And it can't be debug because we don't require debug in our component trait, but we can say inner is gonna be a box din component store, and then we can have like bounds, right? And it's gonna be an option of bounds because initially we won't have any bounds until we render for the first time. And we can implement from C for wrapped component. Oops, sorry, not that. And this needs to be generic over store and C. Wrapped component store, where C is some component of store. Cool, and then we can just return a self. Return a self. Box new. Change this to component. Bounds is gonna be a none, and why is this conflicting? From C, where C is component store. Downstream crates may implement trait component. That is true. How do we get around this? We can make a new trait called into wrapped component. Pub trait into wrapped component store, where into wrapped component of C, and this is going to be generic over C component, returns a wrapped component over store, where C is some component store. And then we can implement into wrapped component store for C, sorry for the mess. And we can implement into wrapped component. Oops. Okay, and oh shit, wait. To wrap component for C. Right, into wrapped component. Oh, this shouldn't be generic. This should be like this. Component self, I think. Sorry, self. Like this, I think. And this would be like that. And it would be self, sorry. Self. And this has to be static also. Has to be owned basically, in order for us to do that. Cool, now we have a wrapped component, and now we can make implementation of, okay, I'm gonna put the implementation down here. Because when you're writing code, you're writing a story basically. So you want the user to read it like a story, right? So we define our struct here. Then we basically say, here are all the ways we can construct this struct. And basically this implementation and this trait kind of tell you how this struct is meant to interact with other things, namely the components. And then you say, now here's what you can do with a wrapped component, right? So that's how you tell your story, right? So we will And also this needs to be pub, I think. Yeah. Okay. And now we're gonna duplicate render. Actually, if we implement component for this, I think it's gonna give us issues, but also do we want to implement component? I think this might cause a cyclical issue with the trait, but let's try it. Oh, we can do that. Okay, cool. Incredible. Okay, so let's add something to the components where we say function bounds, and that'll just return an option of bounds. Okay. All right. And this will have a default implementation of none. We can do that. There we go. And so the idea is the user shouldn't be implementing this by themselves. Yeah, okay, cool. Now let's implement bounds. And we'll return self.bounds. Cool. And now we actually have to cache the bound. So let bounds equals this. Self.bounds equals sum bounds. We can give an okay. Oops. Okay, bounds. Oh, this has to be mutable. Shit, so maybe render needs to take a mute solve, because I don't see any reason why we can't do that yet. We're not doing multi-threaded or anything, so yeah, there's our issue. But we have mute, so we can do that. There we go. And in our window implementation here, we also have to do the same thing and say some, is it ref mute? Is it mute ref? Oh, it has to be, so self is also not mutable here. And ref mute. There we go. And now if we go into app, we'll probably have another error somewhere. No, actually, because we're borrowing Windows as mute. There we go. We fixed it. That was a world record for fixing a Rust compile time issue. We don't need this. We need this. Okay, wait. Okay, we did need that. But we just needed to scroll up. I shouldn't have streamed, honestly. I'm so tired. I'm just gonna do a bit more and probably jump off. But how long have we been going so far? Almost an hour. Okay, cool. Great, so I did see me as troll face. Here, we can show it to the camera. This one? Yeah. It's certainly something. Thanks, T. Appreciate it. I love my fans. Okay, and then we can do on click. Self. Yeah. On click. Self. Yeah. Self. Yeah, okay, we can do on click self bounds. Event, sorry, event. Wait, sorry, I'm just thinking really quick. That would be event colon click event. Right. On click. Right. Let's call this handle on click, or check on click, or on click. So the idea here is we want to have an actual handler, and then we want to have a function that checks whether or not the on click should be fired. This will enable us to make it more abstract and have a good default implementation for this wrapped component. So handle, it's like handle potential on click almost, because like at this point we don't know if it's actually clicking within the bounds of the component or not. So handle propagate on click, maybe. It's kind of a shitty name, but we can have a function on click self event click event, and these will have basically identical signatures, which is kind of stupid, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Bring back the coffee cam. The coffee is finished. I don't know what you want to see. I mean, I suppose I could bring it back. I mean, like, yeah, wait, check this out. Check this out. Is it gonna work? This is the current coffee cam we got, and we have the empty coffee in the background. So, is that good? The coffee is not working. Actually, I can do you one better. We got water cam now. Hydrated. There we go. Enjoy. Okay, on click. Should this return an error? I feel like this can return a bool. We could say let bounds equals self.bounds, right? And if let some bounds xy width height equals bounds, then we can do something else. We can return false, and we can say bounds.x or sorry, event dot x. Here, I'll move this a little because it's making a clacking sound. It's gonna be more than x, event dot x be less than x plus width, and event dot y, it's gonna be more than y. Event dot y is to be less than y plus height. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, I forgot the dot pause. There we go. Cool. And actually we can is there no wait no, this is stupid. I like it this way. Okay, there we go. And in the case that it's true, we'll propagate it. Cool. And by default on click it just won't do anything. Okay. And we could even have like something like children be a slice to box din component store, so we can get at the children of the component if there are any. Should this be an option? And the thing is, the reference can't be nullable, so it's going to be an option. These will just be none by default. Cool. And we will say, oh shit, actually we shouldn't do it this way, because okay, wait, so let is clicked equals, and we're actually just gonna not do this. We're gonna just make this where the click handler is called, and actually I am gonna return a bool of whether or not it was fired, and we'll say we'll return is clicked, right? And we'll say if is clicked, if okay, actually, so we're gonna say let children equals self.children, right? And for each of the children, for child, okay, wait, so if let some children equals children, so these are the elements that are like inside the current component, so that the components that are inside like a wrapper component, like a container or something, we'll say for child in children, if child dot propagate on click event, we will return true and we'll consider it handled. Can we clone that? Yeah, we can. Okay, cool. We'll propagate the event. So basically what we're doing here is we're gonna we're doing what's called in JavaScript, I think, is like event bubbling or something. So basically you have the outermost element, you ask it if it's clicked. If it is, it checks all its children to see if they're clicked. And if it is, it just like goes down the tree basically and sees which inner elements are clicked. And if an element inside of a parent element is clicked, we don't want the parent element to treat it as a click. We want the child element, which it would be on top of the parent element, to be clicked. So yeah, and actually we're gonna return false here, because we don't want to do that check unless the parent is clicked. I'm sorry, we want to do actually, if is not clicked, return false. There we go. Sorry, true. And we're gonna do self.onClick event and oh shit, we have to actually take in the store. Like that. And okay, the borrow checker is happy, so we did good. Okay, okay, cool. So let's go back into our app and our window.onClick, and let's say self.root dot self.root dot propagate. It is a component, right? It's a it's gonna be if let some root equals self.root root.propagate on click event, and I'm just gonna call this event so for consistency. Event store, boom. We need to clone it, and we need to borrow it. Sorry, ref mute like that, and this needs to be mutable as well. And we need iter mute like that. Bye T, thanks for watching. Sorry if I bored you, but I appreciate the support. Cool, so our window will now propagate on click events. Right, so that's pretty cool. Oh shit. There goes coffee cam, water cam. I'm turning it off, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so we have click handling. So let's try it, and actually let's get our stack and let's change it a little bit. We're gonna do children, or sorry, go to add child, and we're actually gonna change this to into wrapped component. And we're actually do component into wrapped component, so that we get that component that can keep its thing. It's okay, store, so that the component can store its bounds. I'm sorry. And what is causing it so that the lifetime is fucking up? I don't know. Huh. I don't know why there are required lifetime bounds for the store. Yeah, I don't wanna. Yeah. Store There are never any bounds placed on the store. Oh, no. All right. Okay. Does that work? Okay. I really don't want to do this. Why is it requiring static? It's into wrap component. Right? It's a store. It's a result to a store. So we're going to self.inner.render.store. I don't know why that's requiring. Is it this function that's causing that? No, it's not. Okay. Why are we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why we. What case would it not? I mean, I guess we can try it here. Sure. Okay. There we go. That's really strange. I don't know why we need that fade bound, but there we go. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So now all our children should be clickable, and we can actually add an on-click event here. You can say self.onClick handler. If let some handler equals this, and this is a function of the store, and we'll probably add some more stuff to this. There we go. There we go. Cool. Let's try something now. Actually, this is where it might pay off. Add 10, and does this compile? Okay. Okay, nothing's happening yet. Damn. Okay. So are we getting a click on anything? Store.count is 127. It should just be more red. Okay, here, let me print line. Clicked. This is the best way to debug, obviously. All right, we don't have anything clicking. Okay. Oh, you know what? It's because we didn't make set root component a wrapped component. Duh. And now we're gonna get that bound. Okay. Fine. I really don't like having that bound, but we'll try it. Still nothing. All right. Let's print root bounds. Root dot bounds, and let's let click handled equals this, and click handled. Okay. So it says it's handling it, right? Okay, so it you can see it's kind of like doing it, right? It's like kind of right. Okay, self.onClick. If child.propagate onClick, it should return true. So let's see if it's hitting this. So that should be true. Oh, it's not. Okay. So the children thing. Oh, because we haven't implemented children yet. The dot children function here for the vstack, which we have to do. Okay. Okay. So on click, set some handler, print click received, right? Is it making it here? No, it's not. So that's weird. Oh, I know why. I know why. Because we didn't implement these functions for the wrapped component. We basically have to propagate, and this is kind of annoying. We have to basically do this for all the functions. And we might want to make a macro for this, but basically when we implement component for the wrapped component here, it implements all these defaults, and it won't actually automatically go into the self.inner, obviously, and use those functions, use that implementation of component. So we have to manually say self.inner.onClick event or it's kind of stupid. I wish this wasn't a thing that had to happen. Look at that. Now, let me make it more obvious, actually. Let's start at 0 and say store.count plus 10, right? And so you can see here we're using store.count as our R value in our background here, right? So if I click it, our R value slowly goes up with each click, right? Until it seemingly wraps around, it looks like, because it's an unsized. Yeah, it's a U8. So it gets to 255 and then it overflows and becomes 0 again. So we have an onClick handler. Let me restart this. So if we click the child, is it going to happen too? Yeah, so it isn't. Oh, because we haven't implemented children yet. So if we go, so basically the intended behavior is when we click the child, we don't want the background to be considered clicked, basically. So if we go into stack, let's implement children, right? So we'll just return a sum of self.children, which works. There. Now if we click this outside, it gets more red, but if we click the inside, it doesn't. It cancels the outer it cancels the click event going to the outer component. But since we made the actual like propagate on click function part of the trait, we could override this and actually say, yes, we do want the parent to be clicked as well for specific components. So we have a lot of flexibility with the way we sort of use this component trait, which is pretty cool, I think. Yeah. So that was a lot. I'm kind of tired. It's almost 9 p.m. Honestly, I think I'm gonna call it a day. This was probably a terrible stream. I'm really sorry. But shout out to my friends for coming in and making it feel lively. And in the next stream, we'll implement text, I promise. And in between streams, I'll try to clean up the code a bit. I started trying to add comments and stuff, but I didn't get very far. I've been kind of busy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I know like streamers and YouTubers are supposed to have like an outro, like a sign off. I don't really have one, but I'll just say like bye. And to all the people who all 3 people who are discovering my stuff on YouTube, appreciate you. Come by the Twitch. Yeah. All right, it's been real. Take care. Bye bye.